Okay, so I want to show everybody this new video you put out, show in real time the functionality of Panquake and how critical it is for people to see, because everyone's always asking what are the updates, what are the updates, and this is why we wanted to have you on, is to show everybody in real time what we got.
Hey everyone, it's time to have a talk about Panquake.
Panquake is a social media application where the user is the customer, not the product.
As you can see, Panquake is way past being an idea. It's real and it's working. We're using it to talk to you right now.
Panquake is a game changer. Your lifeboat away from big tech censorship, suppression, and manipulation. A lifeboat where you can bring your friends, family, and everyone you care about with you.
Panquake helps you build a following that won't be taken away from you. Your donations to Panquake cement your own future ability to speak and be heard. Your donations help us to get Panquake to you sooner.
Unlike any other social media service, on Panquake, your account data is stored safely on your device, not on our network. Big tech is marketing your data every day because your data is valuable. We believe your data should only be yours, and that's why we don't collect it.
Panquake is user-funded social media replacing user-exploiting social media. Only a year since we started coding, the Panquake application is nearly built. Your amazing support through our first 2 funding rounds got us to this point. Now is the moment to polish off phase 3 and deliver.
Your voice and your support are the most potent tools we have in this fight to increase the power of users and diminish the institutional power of big tech. We have great people waiting in the wings to take on service roles, delivering Panquake to you and supporting your use of the platform going forward.
Panquake is a unique solution for you, driven by you, and controlled by you. New, innovative, next-generation social media. Soon, it will be you using Panquake to type your way to freedom of communication, freedom of expression, and freedom of speech. Lift your voice today. Spread this video everywhere. Donate today. Because we don't hope, we build. Head to panquake.com/donate now.
So that was pretty awesome because you guys did that in real time, basically. Whoa, sorry, that's
the world knew about it.
So yeah, we just watched that was you and John Kiriakou and Cherie, I believe, and Sean O'Brien, all just using it in real time. So what is it? What does this mean for everybody?
That was the real deal application. So one of the things that we did, one of the decisions we made, which I'm really very proud of because it's not how every other software company does it, is we didn't build a demo. We built the actual application. And I had people trying to get me to show them a demo. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to waste months of development time making a demo to impress people with. We're going to build the actual application. And that was absolutely the right decision to make. So what you're seeing there is the actual Panquake front end that our users will be using and typing into, which we have been working extremely hard to develop. We started coding 1 year ago, and now after 1 year, we're at the point where you can see it in action. There's a couple of other videos too that are floating around now of us using Panquake. There's one of Sean at Yale in the privacy lab using Panquake on a mobile phone. So if you want to check that out, you can see what Panquake looks like on mobile. It's pretty awesome. There's another video I did of me actually watching YouTube videos in a Panquake timeline, and I'm showing all the functionality of that. But I'm also talking about a really amazing world first innovation. Actually, there's no other social media platform that does it. We have integrated a special service in Panquake that allows you to watch YouTube videos or to embed tweets from Twitter into your Panquake timeline, and it puts like a protective wall between your connection and Google and Twitter, so they don't capture any of your data when you're watching that content on the Panquake timeline. So we have so usually if there's a YouTube video embedded somewhere or a tweet embedded somewhere, like in a news article on a website or something like that, or on Facebook or some other social media application, when you are clicking on that video and interacting with it, it's capturing your user data, it's adding it to your like personalization profile, marketing profile that they have of you. And even though you're not on Twitter's website or you're not on YouTube's website, they're capturing all that data. And on Panquake, we have managed to engineer it so that they get nothing from you when you watch a YouTube video or look at a tweet, and you can interact with them on Panquake.
That's fantastic. That's one of the things I've loved about this is you because you've been targeted and throttled and censored, you amassed a team of people who've been targeted and throttled and censored. So you really went into this is how they do it. How do we do it differently? And because even some of these other, Rumble and these other ones, they claim they're all about freedom of speech or whatever, but it's whatever. They're still collecting data. It's still a billionaire who keeps
all big tech light. That's what it is.
Yeah, they're just big tech light. Exactly. That, if they want to censor you or throttle you, they can. And there's no transparency because it's not on the blockchain. So they could be doing stuff behind the scenes that you have no idea. And I could have just had somebody at Rumble that's a hard right winger or an anti, whatever, that doesn't like my anti-war stance. And that's why I was having tech issues. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll never know. So that's why this, every 6 months to a year, everybody's like, oh, we got to go to this one, go to that one. And I was like, is it going to, and
then eventually get sold to the big tech companies anyway. And then you're back to square one.
Right.
Like this happened with GitHub and Microsoft. Like for years, open source coders were posting their code into GitHub, this application to allow developers to access code from other developers and other projects. And Microsoft just came along and threw billions of dollars at it, sucked up all the code, said thank you very much, and walked off with it. Like this is
wow.
That's what you're up against.
Yeah, that's what you're up against. And so I know I've asked you this before, but since we've seen the functionality and we're Panquake is very close to being like ready for users to buy. First of all, explain to us how it's impossible for Panquake to get bought out. Let's say you launch Panquake, it's popular, everybody's loving it. And then, Google or whoever, the CIA, whatever, wants to come buy it and turn it into, Facebook Lite or whatever. How does that happen? How do you prevent that?
Well, we are a private company registered in a jurisdiction very far away from jurisdictions that would be problematic. And we have constitutionally agreed since day one that the company will not be sold for any amount of money, no matter what amount of money it is. And we've gone a step further than that as well, and that's that we refuse. We do not take a single dollar from any corporation, any government, or any security agency, no matter which corporation, no matter which government, no matter which whatever. So Elon Musk's money is no good here. And I've said as much openly on Twitter. We've had actually hundreds of our supporters trying to convince Elon to contribute to Panquake or to invest in Panquake, and we've said, sorry, no billionaires. Because I'm sorry, like, I'm sure, okay, Elon, you might be a really nice guy. Maybe you're a really nice guy. Even though you do some crazy shit, maybe you're a really nice guy. But the billionaire class, which like 6 of them now own half of the world's wealth or something, like it's some ridiculous number. Like they are not the solution to the problems that we face, or those solutions would have been implemented. So we together are the solutions. Those of us who are struggling, who are being censored, who are being denied a voice, we are the ones that will solve the problems that we are facing. We can't look to our oppressors to solve our problems for us, because they won't. They will always act in their own interests, primarily and fundamentally. Because if they didn't act in their own interests, they would be kicked out of the billionaires club like that. They would be gone. So to maintain their own status and their own standing in their own social groups, they have to play along with the agendas, or they are out on their ass. So we ourselves have to focus on solutions. And I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this, actually. I spent a lot of time thinking about the point that I'm about to relay to you right now. I've just spent 12 years screaming from the rooftops, digging up information, passing along information, trying to educate people, saying this is a problem, that's a problem, this other thing's a problem, here's the evidence that it's a problem, we should be upset about this, we should be outraged about this, we should do something about this. But in all of that time, okay, maybe with the exception of Unity for J, but in all that time, I didn't really have solutions to the problems. I just had problems. And it's important to talk about problems, and it's important to educate other people about problems. But if it's not coupled with a pathway to doing something about it, then we're kind of just pissing into the wind, really. And I look around for solutions. I'm looking like, who else is solving problems right now? Like, where are the solutions? And I love all of these YouTube channels that we all follow. I watch them every single day, but I don't see solutions on them. What I see is outrage. I see, oh, this person said the shocking thing. Oh, this person did the shocking thing. Oh my God, look at this terrible piece of news. The world is ending. Well, yeah, it is terrible and the world is ending, but how about we get off our fucking asses and work together and actually solve it? And yes, that means dedicating ridiculous amounts of hours to advancing that cause, but it's worth it. And we need to do it because we are, like I said, our oppressors are not coming to save us. Our oppressors are not coming to fix the problem of us being censored and silenced. So we ourselves have got to do that. And I see so many people saying like, when can I get Panquake? When can I get Panquake? Well, we put that video out to show people Panquake is real and we have been building it this whole time. And here's the evidence of that. You can now see for yourself, it's a real thing. It's not just an idea anymore. It's not just something we could do. It's something we are doing, and here's the product, here's the result. But in order for us to be able to properly deliver that and support it in a responsible way, because we do need customer support reps, we do need content moderators, we do need 24/7 technical support staff who can do something about it if shit goes wrong. We do need like support mechanisms internally, and we do need to actually be able to properly market it and let people know it exists and that why they should be a part of it. We have to complete our fundraising campaign. And I don't want to look to billionaires for that money, and I refuse to look to billionaires for that money. I refuse to look to governments or security agencies or anyone else, because we all know where that leads. Where that would lead is straight back to big tech, straight back to censorship, straight back to a rotten structure which will not serve us. So what we must have is a movement of everyday, ordinary people who see, oh my God, in a world that is falling to pieces, here is a solution. Here is an extremely rare opportunity to solve massive problems that are plaguing us. And right now, people, I get it, people are literally being starved to death right now. Like literally starved out by the hundreds of millions, if not the billions. But you can actually advance Panquake without even paying money. If you have something to contribute to the crowdfunding campaign, do it, because it gets us closer to putting Panquake in your hands. But if you don't, your voice and your time is actually in many ways more valuable than donating. If you just spend 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week, actively taking links to Panquake's content and sending it to content creators and saying, cover solutions, platform solutions. Don't just tell me about problems. Tell me about solutions. I want to see this on your channel. Your audiences need to know about this. This is key to your future as content creators. Get out there and advocate for us, because we don't have a PR team. We don't have some corporation that we pay money to, which goes and gets us published in magazines, or we're not able to buy TV ads and tell people about Panquake. We are 100% people powered, people funded. And we have had so many people volunteer to get us to this point, because if we had to pay everybody full time to do their roles, we would have never made it this far. So we have people, there's people in chat right now who have given their time, their attention, their care, their love to get Panquake to where it is right now. And for us to get through the next step, we've got to complete that phase 3. So the crowdfunder, panquake.com/donate. We've had 3 phases. Phase 1 was set up the business. We did that. We set up a very sound, international, far away from US jurisdiction, multinational structure. And that is what secures Panquake at that level. Secondarily, for phase 2, we raised the money to build Panquake. And you can see, lo and behold, we've built it. Phase 3 is deliver. And that's where we have to be able to employ our service teams and deliver. So every dollar to the campaign gets us closer, but more importantly, your words and your time and your messages and your advocacy for us. And Graham, you're the prime example, because you've supported us from day 1 and never stopped. Never stopped. You've platformed us over and over and over and over and over again, because you knew this was the real deal. And we've proven you right. We've proven that you're right to do that. Everybody else now needs to get on board and be our PR team and be our media team. I see people, sorry, I'm just going to quickly answer the people who are asking questions, if that's okay. Just sure. Someone saying they don't think it's open source. Panquake is free and open source software. With the beta, we are not just publishing a white paper, which we are publishing, and also a marketing white paper as well as a technical white paper, but we are publishing our entire code base, not on GitHub. We'll be using a FOSS code repository. So yes, you will be able to download, run, test, extend Panquake code yourself. You'll be able to security and pen test it. You'll be able to do whatever you want to do with it. Sean O'Brien is our FOSS specialist. If you doubt our team's ability to produce a high quality code base, I urge you to go and look at WL Dragnet release that we did about 4 months ago. We did an extremely high quality open source release of a software tool from our dev team. So you can go and see the standard to which we'll publish at, which is an extremely high standard. Our standard of documentation is very, very high as well. So it's FOSS, and you will be able to, also we'll have a third-party developer API. So you'll also be able to work with and extend Panquake as well. Sorry, I just want to answer that question. And one more thing is that we are interoperable with the Fediverse. I'm sick of hearing from people, oh, why don't you just use Mastodon? Panquake is interoperable with Mastodon. It's interoperable with all of the Hive social media applications. We're actually adding to the potency and size of the Fediverse. We're not competing with it.
That's excellent.
Sorry, go for it.
No, I'm glad you answered. You answered the questions that are popping up in the chat, because they're good questions to ask, and it's great to get a solid answer from you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've always, since the inception of this show, I've always tried to offer some type of solution, even at the end of my videos, of like, this is, I do at least 1 or 2 climate change videos a week, and I talk about stuff we can do on a personal level. But it is frustrating, and I've told my audience recently, no one's coming. There's no one's coming to save you. Not Bernie Sanders, not the Squad. Nobody's coming. It's not the People's Party, not the Green Party. And I like those independent parties, but they're not coming. No one's coming to rescue you. They don't have it's not the infrastructure in the American political system is so stacked against you and so corrupt. You just can't do it. So, but we do need real solutions. And when I see like all of these mainly young people getting over 100 Starbucks unionized, I go, see, there are solutions out there. That's a grassroots, people powered. Those are regular kids. They're not like billionaires. These are just kids making minimum wage going, why am I getting minimum wage when this cup of coffee costs $7, and these billionaires are reaping the rewards of my labor. And so you're seeing what happens when people get together and go, wait a minute, you're seeing what Chris Malls did with the Amazon workers.
Great example. That is a classic and rare, unfortunately, but classic example of action versus helplessness.
Yeah. And to tie it into Panquake as well, I mean, I learn about whatever news Starbucks got unionized every day on Twitter. And I'm sure that Starbucks is trying to throttle that, but that's how all these kids figured out about it. They're like, well, wait a minute. They're seeing this store in this other state or 2 towns over, they just unionized. Why can't we do that? And so that's what the initial idea of social media was supposed to be about, is we could this free flowing interchange and exchange of ideas between people from all over the country and the planet that would never have normally met each other. I mean, you and I met doing Unity for Jay, and so that's why they have to censor it, big tech companies, because like, we can't let the people be making decisions. We need these 6 billionaires to make all the decisions or whatever. So it's why it's very critical, and they are solution based. And I mean, I personally in the last year have become pretty despondent in terms of just seeing what indie left YouTube has become, is basically just a TMZ bitching about, like, oh my God, like what Ryan Grimm said on his Twitter that's not going to, me talking about that isn't going to end climate collapse. So like we need real solutions. We're on the brink of World War III with Russia, where America is literally not could, but we're in the early stages of a civil war. If you look at a historical timeline of civil wars, we're in the early stages of one. And, oh, by the way, the human race is facing complete extinction from climate collapse. So, I just did a video, Utah's Salt Lake has a third of the water that it should. And then the dust from the dry lake bed has arsenic in it. And so when there's dust storms that literally can shut down Salt Lake City, there's people breathing arsenic, which causes a myriad of respiratory and cancer-based problems. I bring that up because those are that's what we're facing right now. That's what we're looking at. And it's so-and-so said this about so-and-so on so-and-so's YouTube show, is preposterous. Or I'm watching The Rising debating fucking transgender names and pronouns. Like, who gives a shit? I mean, like, really? Like, this is what we're bitching about. And so I love that Panquake has real solutions backed by people like yourself, like John Kiriakou, like Bill Binney, people who are involved, who are inside the system. So, I mean, John and Bill, have been completely targeted. Their lives have been upended because they made a decision to do the right thing, which is always more detrimental than good when you make a decision to do the right thing as a whistleblower. So it's important that Panquake is, as I see it, a little bit of a life raft to get us out of this, because it could, when it's up and running, it could change things in ways that we could actually have free flowing ideas. We could actually know, I would actually know what my fans would actually know what I'm doing. It's literally like Ron Placone said, it's like subscribing to a physical copy of Rolling Stone, and then Rolling Stone decides they're not going to deliver it to everybody's house because maybe everyone doesn't want it, which is basically what YouTube does when it doesn't notify everybody when I go live. All of my subscribers want to be notified when I go live, but YouTube doesn't do it. So, I'm glad that you have been digging in, and for the last, God, we're 2 years now of when you first told me about it, and you've built a team of people, and it's been funded by the people. Like, I call this the people's channel. And that's what Panquake is. It's the people's social media. So everybody out there, if you haven't supported it, please do, and share it on your social media. So Suzie, where can people go to support what you're doing to get you over this final hump?
Panquake.com/donate. Absolutely. If you're able to donate, that's how we will raise the money to deliver the product and complete phase 3. In terms of general support, though, learn about Panquake. So we have a lovely commenter, Carl's4948, in chat right now, thinking that he can't find anything out about us until we publish our code base at beta. That's completely false, because, and he seems to be like technically minded, since he's just claimed that he can write any piece of software for $600,000. So I'm just gonna, can I do a little bit of geek speak to him?
Yeah, go for it. Geek it out.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, Carl's, we use an agile delivery methodology. It's called frequent delivery. It's a frequent delivery model. That means that ever since the first moment that we had this idea for the project, we held monthly public delivery meetings. In those public delivery meetings, we talk about architecture, we talk about infrastructure, we show technical diagrams. There is every type of use case diagram, workflows, everything under the sun has been released. It's all been published also on our website. You can go back and see every single thing that our development team has done on a monthly basis, all the way through from the beginning of this project right up until now. You'll see at the end of every single month, half an hour of us going through point by point what we've developed that month, how we're doing it, and then reflecting back on our development and delivery plans. So there is no reason for you to have to wait for the Git to be released to be able to see what we're doing. Also, in terms, so I'm so sorry, because I know for a lot of people, none of what I'm saying is making sense right now, but it's also important for techies to understand that this is the real deal. Like, this is, not only have we built something amazing and cool and cute, but we've actually engineered serious technical solutions. So we're the only social media application that I know of that has engineered and done proof of concept for an encrypted user data store. I'll try not to speak Greek now. Panquake, when you hit our website and then you sign up for an account, the information that you, like your password and like whatever account data, etc., all gets put in a neat little encrypted package on your device, and it is not saved by our network. So Panquake doesn't have your account data. Imagine a social media service that doesn't actually hold your account data. And if we can't hold your account data, we can't give your account data to anybody. So if the FBI comes knocking on our door, guess what? Oh, sorry, we don't have the information you're looking for. They can download a copy of our public blockchain, and they can see the information which you chose to make public when you sent a message to the public. They cannot obtain any of your personal information. We've gone even further than that. We don't collect any, we don't do any browser fingerprinting. We don't do any geolocation. We do absolutely nothing that would in any way identify you as a user and produce data which would be retained by our network. All of the communications on our network are peer-to-peer and encrypted. So you don't even connect to Panquake when you're using Panquake. You connect to other people who are using Panquake all around the world, and you pass messages between you. And then the validity of the data isn't assessed by Panquake. It's a blockchain product. So users together perform a consensus process, validate data, and publish it to the blockchain. So we aren't the ones deciding what happens or what goes where. And also, because it's a blockchain product, and just one more thing, sorry, I'm so sorry to turn this into a technical lecture, but I do think it's important. Our blockchain is a non-financialized blockchain. What that means is that the records on our blockchain aren't movements of money. Usually a blockchain has smart contracts and money moving from place to place in transactions. On the Panquake blockchain, transactions are text, content, messages that people want to publish to their timeline for other people to see. So we've created a non-financialized blockchain. There's no like crypto coin or anything like that associated with it. This is not a money-making exercise. This is about verifying that your data has been published, that everybody who follows you has been able to see it. We've also engineered special functionality which allows you to send messages to everyone who follows you at one time. Imagine if you could send a tweet and know that everybody who follows you gets that tweet. This is like just next level compared to the constant restrictions of flows of information that big tech are inflicting upon us. No, sorry.
Keep going.
Graham, you can read if you want. There's like so many questions from people, and I want to answer them all. Someone's asking,
Well, we can't.
as the content data grows on the device, does that mean they need more storage on their device? No, because the content is stored on blockchain because it's content that you've put out to the world because you want people to read it. It doesn't have to be stored on your phone. It's only your personal account data that you don't want people to have or to see that stays on your phone. And so obviously that's only a small amount of data, right? Because you're not constantly adding to your account data. So if you elect to store a full copy of the blockchain, which some people will do because they will want to support the decentralization of the network, then yeah, you would need you wouldn't do it with a mobile phone. We actually call mobile phones partial nodes in our network because they don't have sufficient processing or storage capacity to function as a full node. But you can contribute device resources and you can store full copies of the blockchain if you want to. Carl, do you have any other questions?
Well, I want to ask this question here from Kate, our moderator. Can Panquake be shut down? What platform is being used?
What? Sorry, what platform is being used? I missed the last part.
It said, can it be shut down? And the second question is, what platform is being used? I guess to host it. Is that your question, Kate?
So we are hosting in Iceland. We are our hosting provider is on geothermal and hydroelectric electricity. So we're on green energy. Not that that really matters too much, because the other thing I should mention about our blockchain is we are not a proof of work consensus model. So Bitcoin, for example, is proof of work, which means people have to use a lot of computing and device resources and therefore a lot of energy in order to mine Bitcoin blocks. But we're not a financialized chain, so we don't have to mine blocks. So nodes don't have to compete. There's no competition between nodes to process blocks in our blockchain. So we use exponentially less energy than a financialized proof of work chain.
Okay.
I hope that answered the question. And obviously we're not hosting with Amazon or anything like that. So no, we have got independent hosting companies who are in Iceland and who have a long track record of supporting at-risk activists and freedom of information.
And your business structure is set up so where the United States government, the federal government, can't come in and shut it down either.
Well, as best we can. I mean, if they start, I don't even want to speculate, but it would take a serious an unprecedented escalation in a large number of countries. I mean, our team is across 4 continents. We have people working on Panquake in 10 countries. So it wouldn't be a small undertaking to get rid of all of us. Yes, Amazon can't shut us down, Kate. Matt, no, we're not a proof of stake model either. Proof of stake would mean that they would have to stake certain resources in order to participate, and that's not the case. So, yeah.
All right.
If you want to learn more about our model, go to panquake.com and click on the tech page, and you'll find tons of stuff.
Well, I really appreciate all the questions. First of all, you guys are the best and smartest fans in the world. You're critical thinkers. You're not culty click chasers. So that's why I like you. And this is the people's channel. So you guys make this show better by asking these great questions. And you really care and want things to be better because this show is solution based. I would get more clicks and views if I just ranted and raved and picked fights with people or just agreed with people, even if I didn't agree with them or whatever. I would get way more clicks and views. But that's not who I am. I'm not going to agree with somebody, even if I personally don't believe it, just to get views or clicks or money. I've never done that, nor will I ever do that. And that's the thing that I always guarantee to my audience. I'm going to be honest with you. Even if you don't agree with me, this is my opinion. There's some shows out there that have gotten paid by billionaires, like direct money from billionaires to support them. And that billionaire has then put some strings attached to that money. I don't have that. Right.
What you just said is so important. And the thing is, we come at this from a human rights perspective, and the people who think transgender pronouns are ridiculous actually have a right to express opinion, even if their opinion is distasteful and shit. And the people who think that, it's of critical importance, they also have the right to speak and have an opinion as well. And if we don't have both of those, we are in dangerous freaking waters, man. Whenever a society is all on board with one thing, it never works out well, like historically. Like, we need to have diversity of thought, we need to have diversity of opinion, we need to be able to interact with people who completely disagree with us, we need to be exposed to different ideas, and we need to feel free to speak and express ourselves and not feel like no one feels free at the moment. No one feels free on social media. I don't feel free on social media. None of my team feel free on social media. And like, what kind of slaves have we become that we can't even speak anymore? And the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which, sorry, but I mean, I actually believe in fundamental human rights, regardless of any failings of the UN. There are inalienable human rights which no government is supposed to be able to take away from us, no matter what law they pass, no matter what, what the way the shifts in society, the pressures in society. We have fundamental human rights: freedom of communication, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom of political thought. And we must have a platform that truly embraces that. Even if there are going to be people trolling me all day on it, I'll still let them have Panquake accounts, because we need to have that so badly. And this is our first shot in a long time that I know of actually getting it.
It's important, and we're getting close, and we need it. I mean, look, I've had people want to cancel me and censor me because they didn't agree with my stance on just a comedian wanting to feel safe on stage who performs and shakes hands for a living. So-called free speech lefties wanted to cancel me for that. And from the bottom of my heart, if any of them are watching, go fuck yourself, fuck you and your family. And I just want you to know that face to face. If I ever meet you in person, I'm going to say that face to face. You can talk shit behind your keyboard, but I'm a guy from Chicago that if you talk shit to me online, it's just like spitting in my face in person, and I'm going to come at you. So I just want everyone to know that you're full of shit who you wanted to cancel and censor me because you didn't agree with my stance on not wanting more people to die from a virus. I just want everybody to know that. And if this bothers you, good. I doubled down on it and I went after you. Go fuck yourselves. Not naming names, but you know who you are. You know exactly who you are, and you're weak, stupid people. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Panquake. And I'm fed up, and I have no faith in the indie left media. I have no faith in the left, but I have faith in Panquake. I absolutely have faith in Panquake. I don't have much faith in the human race. I don't have any faith in America. America as we know it, the 50 United States, in 5 to 10 years, it's not going to be. We're going to be in a civil war. People are going to be murdering each other, and it's going to be a hellscape. But if we got Panquake, we'll actually be able to get legitimate reporting on this awful civil war and the collapse of society, which we're not getting out of Ukraine. We're getting America's propaganda, and we're getting Russia's propaganda. The first thing to die in war, of course, is the truth. So
a lot of that civil war, I mean, that's being perpetuated by the way that people are being divided and conquered, and
sure,
the labeling that's occurring. Like, I was looking today at Rachel Blevins' Twitter, and RT America shut down. Rachel doesn't even work there anymore. She doesn't. She's still labeled Russia-affiliated state media, and she's a chick in Texas, man. She's from friggin'
Suzie,
Texas.
I'll tell you
And
this.
she's got, everywhere she goes, she has this, everything she writes, she has this Russia state, and I'm like, what?
Lee Camp and I are trying to set up a European tour, and we have literally had some promoters in Europe or club owners in Europe say, "Oh, well, Lee worked for Russian TV. We can't have him here in our venue." Even though Lee has publicly said, "I'm against Putin invading Ukraine. I'm against the war." I've said it. One guy said both of these guys have been on Russia TV, so we don't know if we want to have them. I mean, I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's. I don't know if this European tour is going to happen because people think that Lee, and to a certain extent myself, because I've been on numerous RT shows. I've been on Redacted. I've been on Crosstalk with Peter Lavelle numerous times. And I was like, how am I a Russian puppet when I go on Peter Lavelle's show and I would debate with conservatives and neoliberals? How am I a Putin puppet? It's unbelievable to me. So
because you're not expressing approved thought on an approved platform to climb up over other people's bodies to extract some reward from the hierarchy that governs us. That's why.
And so
you don't conform, you don't capitulate, and therefore you're on the shit list.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
And they're doing a very effective job at limiting my and other people's abilities to earn a living, which that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just hit them in the pocketbook. So you're like, oh my God, I gotta make money somehow. How do I make money?
But part of that, or in fact, a major part of that, like, yeah, there's cutting off services like PayPal, which also happened to Panquake last year. I might add, long before it happened to some other large indie media publications. They actually came after us first. But the other part of it is what they're doing in order to limit your ability to grow and to earn is cutting you off from other people.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. They're severing the lines of communication. And we must open those lines of communication if we have any hope at all.
Yeah. And hopefully Panquake will do that. So everybody go to panquake.com/donate. Suzie, I know it's late there. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on the show and showing us this update. And I appreciate all the wonderful questions from my smart, amazing audience. I appreciate you all showing up no matter what. You guys all show up. Even though they don't tell you I'm doing a live stream. Even though you've hit the bell notification button. Some of you have, and I appreciate those people in the chat who are like, I got a notification. I appreciate knowing that some of you are getting it, but many of you don't. So, Suzie, thank you so much for being on the show, and say hi to everybody for me, and we'll talk soon.
Well, thank you so much for all of your support. You've like I said, you've been with us from day one all the way through. I appreciate it, Grant.
I do. I try to support as much as I can. And you've been supportive of me, which I appreciate. Others I can't say the same. I feel like I've helped a lot of people out, and they don't agree with me on something and then they bail. So that's
yeah, but this is the thing. Like, it's okay to not agree.
Right.
And there's like all this COVID shit. I had people at me saying, oh, you can't be friends with people who won't take the vaccine. Oh, you can't be friends with people who take the vaccine. And I'd like to tell them all, fuck off. Like, I'll be friends with whoever I want to be friends with. And I don't give a shit about whether they're taking the vaccine or not. That's their own opinion, own choice. And like, that's just me. So I agree with enormous amounts of what you say. I might not agree with some of what you say, but you're my freaking friend. And I'm not going to like cancel you. I'm not going to cancel you from my life because I didn't agree with something or because someone else said whatever, and we just need to grow up a bit, actually. Like, that's how I feel it. We need to grow up. We're not actually in high school. It's not actually a popularity contest. We don't actually need to like sell our moral and ethical fiber out to try and be friends with the popular kid. Like, we actually can say it's okay to think what you think and to believe what you believe, and I will still love you anyway. And that's very much the case. Very much the case.
Yeah, there's some out there. I'd love to see the actions to back that up, but I appreciate everything you've done, Suzie, and I appreciate Panquake and all the work everybody over there is doing. You got a great team of people working very hard, and it's something everybody watching, please support. Go to panquake.com. Thanks for being on the show, Suzie. You have a wonderful day.
Sorry for my potty mouth. Bye, guys.